Hi, Darwin here of Team Box Break, a Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG community here in the Philippines. Gonna provide you a deck profile of Ignister. Before we start, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Let's begin. Ignister is a flexible Cybers combo deck that recently got support in booster set Lightning Overdrive. We're providing you a deck profile today to give you an idea how to use the deck. We'll start off with the core concept of the deck, followed off with the staples of your choosing. Preference will depend on the players that you'd be facing off, either you're playing casual or meta. We'll begin first with 3 copies of Achichi. This is the search card for your deck. Will provide you level 4 lower Ignister monsters whenever it's normal or special summoned. Very great card. Its second effect is not really that used often, but will provide you a situational Woboku in a sense, because it will destroy your monster during damage calculation, preventing you from receiving any form of damage. Second off would be Picari at Ignister. Searches your spell trap cards. Very basic. You really need 3 copies of this. This one, you may have a choosing of whether you'd be doing 2 copies or one off. Doyon at Ignister. This is basically your recovering card. Whenever it's normal or special summoned, it'll add your monsters from your graveyard, and then when it's used as link material, it'll add you an eye spell or trap, which is actually the spell trap cards of this very core deck. And then 1 copy of Bururu at Ignister. This is the tuner of the deck. It dumps your your monsters from your deck, but it's really searchable by by your extra deck, especially Wicked. And then its use is usually only for the synchro summoning of your cards. Then this, you may choose to have 1 off or 2 off. Hiari at Ignister is your search card for level 5 or higher at Ignister monsters by simply tributing your link monsters in your field. And then it would also allow you to add the eye ritual whenever you're using link monsters as your tribute. Doshin is the counterpart for Hiari. This one would return a link from the graveyard and then adds you your fusion. Very useful, and the uniqueness of these two compared to the others is that they can summon themselves whenever you have an Ignister on the field. It's really a bit important to note that, because Ignister special summons themselves whenever you don't have a main monster on your main monster zone using the field spell, which we'll introduce later on. Danmarie is a very new card for the deck from Lightning Overdrive. This one is a very good card, provided that you are able to send this to the graveyard. If any case that you have Water Leviathan in your hand, or if any case that you apparently have the manga promo, or rather the master guide promo of Ignister, this one would of course suffice to replace it somehow. Gachiri unfortunately is not a very common card, so we're not going to be using this in the core deck, but if you have it, please use it. This card is very useful whenever you have the arrival in your field. It has a quick effect for you to banish this from your graveyard and negate any card face up from your opponent's zone. Water Leviathan is the ritual version for the Ignister. It's the only boss type monsters or sub boss of the deck that is not placed on the extra deck. Really useful. We added here Paladin of Storm dragon, so that we have a different ritual monster to add off if any case that we're able to have this in the first hand card. Um, and then this is the card that allowed this deck to flourish, especially for this format. Um, when I first met you, really a good pun from the creator, uh, Konami, because when I first met you, shows the card I. This card allows you to search, basically replacing Signet Mining for the deck, to search any of your at Ignister main monsters by simply revealing from your extra deck a monster with 2-3 attack, which is basically them. Um, However, you need to summon them on the field during the turn that you do reveal them, or else you'll be taking up 2-3 damage. But of course, if it's your first turn, taking 2-3 damage is not really a problem. Um, so, um, Likewise, since this is searchable, it's one of the cards you really want to have in your first hand card. Um, Idol Reborn is basically it's Monster Reborn. You also want to have this. I put it 3 off, simply because whenever you have only one monster to play, you can use this to revive the monster used for link summoning, so that you can summon Splash Mage and other extra decks and continue your combo, even if you only have one monster in hand. Well, we have 2 copies of Ignister Island. It's searchable, yes, but it is tend to be banished either by your opponent's Cosmic Cyclone or other card effects. So you really don't want to lose this out. It's really important to your deck, because this allows you to summon all of your small at Ignisters from your hand once per turn if you don't have any monsters from your main monster zone. Really basic. This is I Love Fusion. Um, it is searched by Doshin, and then it allows you to use in a situation shown especially on our future videos. You'd see how this card saves me from certain doom with the hand card that I have. I Love Fusion allows you to use link monsters from your opponent whenever you're gonna summon a at Ignister monster, which is basically what you'd be summoning using this one. And then I Ritual, a very upgrade version for the Signet Ritual, allows you to use monsters from your grave as material, so allows you to summon Water Leviathan really easy. So we added eye contact here because of Island. Eye contact whenever you have Island on the field, and you can activate this to reveal your Island in the hand, and then return this to return it to the bottom of the deck and draw 3. It's really a +1 card, especially for the fact that right now Island can be searched with the new link monster that was added to the deck. We still use Signet Mining as a one-off. The restriction of Signet Mining being used once really made it so that I'd just be using one. But this may be changed. You can remove this, you can add 2, depends on your taste. I'm also using one Signet Ritual because I'm currently using Cyber Switch on the deck. So if ever that you won't be using Cyber Switch, you can remove this as well as Paladin of Storm Dragon, because they're gonna eat up some space of your deck. So that's the very basic concept of the deck as a core. Other cards you would be putting in is up to you. The staple cards that are being used in OCG is 3 of Ash Blossom, 2 of Maxi. Even though you can use 3, 2 is enough for the deck, since all of the cards here basically searches for itself. 1 Nibiru. Nibiru is a card that you don't want to see in your opponent, especially when you're playing first turn. So we have 1 Nibiru only to be used for cross out designator as a target. Same goes with Maxi. So I also use 3 of crossout designator. Here in the OCG, we really have this as a staple since we have designator as 2 of, and this prevents cards that um, are not really hand traps. Like, I mean, this is a hand drop, but this doesn't go to the grave. So um, crossout designator beats designator, rather called by the grave, uh, in a very major way here in OCG, especially preventing Nibiru as well as impermanence, which is also a one-off in the deck. And then some staple cards like Harpy's Feather Duster and Monster Reborn to extend the combo. But again, as mentioned to you, everything here is staple cards that you can change whenever you're playing. Um, you can even remove them and add other Cybers monsters whenever you like. Okay. Um, After this, we'll begin with the extra deck. So let's start with the first off, Linguribo. This is a unique version of Linguribo for the At Ignister. Um, a very good card to start off whenever you have extra monsters to summon, because if you played second, this would prevent trap cards from your opponent, and then if you play first, this would prevent the dreaded impermanence from your opponent's hand. Very useful and very stable. And then of course it has a unique effect for Attic Dister. By tributing your Attic Dister from the field, you can basically you can special summon this from your from your Grieve again and then reuse its effect. So this card is the new card from Lightning Overdrive, um, Dark Infant at Ignister. This is your Link 1 at Ignister monster, and is the at Ignister version for uh, the one being used for Salaman Great. Searches for your field, uh, and it has a second effect that allows you to move it to its direction whenever a 2/3 monster or a 2/3 monster has activated its field. Later on, we'll be showing you how it's being used and utilized. We need to use 2 off. First one is to add your island, and the second one is for the effect for it to move. Okay, and then we use 1 splash mage. Often you would see this in Cyber Stack 2 off, but here in Atagnister, you only need to use it once. Or you can also recycle it with the effects of Doshin. So it's not really that important to add off, so you can place more uh, crucial monsters or other cards that you'd like to be utilizing. Again, meta is always changing, so the extra deck is also flexible. I'm also using 1 Wicked again just to add Bururu. Um, its effect to not be destroyed is not really relevant because since the change of Master Rule, we don't really need to do the extra link anymore, especially for Cyrus decks. So 1 off is enough just to search for your tuner. This is the tech card that's being used. I see often that it can be used once or be removed at all and then add for other boss monsters. Cyber Switch is just here as a utilization, especially since Gatchery is not really that available in the market right now. We're using Heat Soul. It's a very strong Cyber's monster right now, and the fact that it's 2/3 attack simply replaces the need for you to use Fire Phoenix in your deck, because you can reveal this with your spell card, and then it would allow you to add Achichi. The pay 1k to draw 1 card is basically a very strong effect, especially its quick effect. You can simply end your turn with these 2 cards in the field and then draw another card so that you can replenish your card and have a strong monsters that cannot be targeted and with 2/8 attack. Speaking of transcode talker, a very common card for cyber, anything with pure cybers. Special summons your link 3 or lower monsters, and then whenever it has co-link, it would allow itself and the co-link monster to have a cannot be targeted protection. Very useful for your access code as well as your firewall dragon, which we'll be seeing today. This is the Dark Knight or Dark Templar at Ignister. This is Light Dragon at Ignister, Earth Golem, Wind Pegasus. These are the at Ignisters that we have right now, since we replaced Fire Phoenix with Heat Soul. Their effects very strong, especially it allows the at Ignister deck on its own to be flexible, yet simple for everyone to use. Almost the same as how DDDs and um, magicians as well as odd eyes were designed before. This deck simplified this and made it very easy. Wind Pegasus destroys your back row depending on non-targeting, depending on the number of at Ignister that you control beside its own, and then it has a second effect that whenever a monster on your field is destroyed, you can banish this from your field or grave to bounce back any card. Earth Golem is your fusion summon target using Eye Fusion, and then when it's summoned, you will not take any form of damage for the whole turn. Its effect to attack any special summoned monster, and then have its attack double is a very good effect as well. Generally, that I don't really use it that often, although there are situational that you'd be using this. I use this only to boost up my Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid, which apparently this deck has a very knack and strong way of summoning it, um, and very easy to use. Light Dragon at Ignister, the same, especially that Pickery allows you to change a level to level 4 for your other at Ignister monsters, makes it easy to summon. Its protection from your field is very useful, especially when you're going to on second turn. It's attached to destroy non-targeting monsters is also useful. Besides that, I summon this if I really want to go for Dark Fluid. And then this is the very combo starter, or rather board finisher for your field. Dark Templar is really important because it special summons monsters from your graveyard and allows you to summon your big boss, which is, for my case, I am using this 3, the Arrival at Ignister. Since I'm using Danmarie, I really want to summon this as often as possible. Its effect to be immune from other other card effects is really strong, especially if you're going first, because you don't really want to waste uh, your dark fluid in your first turn, because if you did, and it has been kaiju'd or blocked, what else is your comeback? And then access code, very strong link 4 monster. I'd say I could change monsters here in lineup, especially since we have an errata for Firewall Dragon. But right now, I feel that Firewall as an extension for the deck is not really that necessary, although using it is a very good way also to utilizing and taking advantage of the new rules for the game. Okay, now with the deck profile done, I'll just be providing you a simple combo utilizing one card for the deck, and then from here you can do multiple combos afterwards. So I can begin with the deck having Achichi in my hand, normal summoning him, adding from my deck Pickery. Using him as a link material, I'd be special summoning Dark Infant. Infant's effect allows me to add Island from my deck. Then using Island, activating it, special summon Pickery, and then using Pickery's effect to to add when I first met you. Activating when I first met you, revealing from my extra deck Dark Templar so that I can add Doyon from my deck. Then using them both as link material, I can summon now Wicked. Using the field, I'll be special summoning Doyon. I won't be using Doyon's effect because I don't have anything that I want from my graveyard, so I'll just use Wicked's effect, banishing Dark Infant, and then adding Bururu. Using both of them as link material, I would summon now Cyber Switch. Using the field, I special summon Bururu and then perform a chain. Chain link 1, Cyber Switch, banishing when I first met you, and then chain link 2, Bururu. From Bururu's effect, I would dump from my deck Doshin. And then from Cyber Witch effect, I would now add both Paladin of Storm Dragons as well as Signet Ritual. And then using its effect, whenever it's used its first effect, I can special summon from the grave one monster. Level 4 or lower, I'll be special summoning Doyon. And then here I will be using Doyon's effect so that I can add Doshin from the graveyard. And then using all of these monsters as material to special summon now Dark Templar. Now, since I have an Agnister from the graveyard, from the field, I can special summon from my hand Doshin. I'll be special summoning here, and then using its effect, I'll be returning a Link 2 from my graveyard, Link monster. I can just use Cyber Switch, returning it, so that I can add from my hand I Love Fusion. And then from here, using Doshin as my link material, I would special summon Dark Infant. And then it's really important for you to understand that Dark Infant's effect would only go to the left. So make sure that your combo goes to your right side of the on the field, so that you would maximize the potential effect of Dark Templar. So now, since a monster has been special summoned on Dark Templar's link pointers, I would be using its effect, and since Dark Infant saw a monster with 2/3 attack use its effect, I would be able to move it to its link point, and then maximizing 3 monster space for Dark Templar's effect. I would be using Achichi, Pikari, as well as Bururu, and special summon them on the link points. Then using Bururu and Pikari as synchro material, I would synchro summon Wind Pegasus. Since considering this is a first turn play, I would just simply use Wind Pegasus as a monster for its second effect. Bururu's effect would then activate, so that I'll be special summoning Pikari again from the field, and then activating from my hand Signet Ritual, so that I could tribute Pikari to special summon Paladin of Storm Dragon. Using Paladin of Storm Dragon's effect, I would tribute it so that I can special summon Danmarie from my deck. And then using Danmarie as well as Dark Infant as link material, I would special summon from my extra deck Splash Mage. Splash Mage's effect allows me to special summon one monster, ideally one that has a different attribute from the monsters you have in the field. So I'd be special summoning Pikari to the field. And then now I'll be using Pikari as my light, Wind Pegasus, Wind, Achichi Fire, Splash Mage Water, and Dark Templar's Dark to have 5 attributes as link material for my D Arrival. Again, this is just a basic combo. There are multiple ways that you can utilize and maximize that play, and this is just one of many. I just really like to use the Arrival since this is a really cool card for me. Very unaffected, and since I used 5 monsters as material with different attributes, it has a baseline of 5,000 attack. And if any case that this field would be threatened by any card by my opponent, I can simply use Danmarie's quick effect from the grave by banishing it, targeting one face-up card my opponent controls and negating its effect. If any case that my D Arrival has been defeated, I can use on my turn the effect of Cyber Ritual, banishing it, special summoning 2 tokens from my to my field, and then I can use I Love Fusion so that I can summon um, Earth Golem and have multiple ways um, to recover from that play. And then again, that's just one card. What else you can do? Many. So that's it for my at Ignister deck profile. I hope you learned something from this video. Comment down below any thoughts and suggestions that we may improve on. And maybe you can share this with your friend. Follow us on FB and follow us on YouTube. Okay? Thank you and see you in our next video. Bye bye. Hi, Darwin here from Team Box Break. Sorry. Paulit yan. Paano yan? Nahirap ko. Gago.